So maybe you're finally thinking about jumping into The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, or you're excited about the upcoming Netflix series starring Geralt and Company, but you're a bit intimidated by all the history, factions, and difficult sounding names. Nilfgaard? Who, what, or where in the hell is that? Well, don't fret over names and groups because we've got you covered. Yes, the world of The Witcher is deep and complicated, but by knowing these main factions, you'll be helping your confused friends make sense of Geralt's adventures in no time.
Lambert, you're a genius.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. First up, we have the Witchers of Kaer Morhen from the Northern Kingdom of Kaedwan. The old Keep Morhen is home to our favorite Witchers like Geralt and Vesemir, and it's also the heart of the Witcher story, seeing as where it's the now defunct School of the Wolf was located that gave birth to, and trained, Geralt of Rivia.
Thank you for coming. The Wild Hunt will be here soon.
Witchers are professional monster hunters for hire that keep regular people safe from unnatural creatures that were brought to the current world by the conjunction of the spheres roughly 1500 years before the books began. These monster hunters are as much created as they are trained, seeing as they have to undergo and survive a brutal process of mutations and alchemical changes known as the Trial of the Grasses that kills 7 out of 10 applicants. Furthermore, they then have to undergo physical challenges that kill many more potential candidates, revealing an outright masochistic process for becoming a Witcher, which is one reason why there are so few of them left. In terms of training, they are schooled in a lesser form of magic known as signs that are not as powerful as spells used by sorceresses and mages.
Gonna have to thank Yen once this is all over. That spell, really something.
Also, due to their mutations and advanced training, Witchers have advanced eyesight, resistance to potions, toxins, and illness, and many other amazing abilities like the power of advanced healing.
It's starting. Woods, now.
In terms of sorceresses, there are quite a few you'll meet in The Witcher, but the two key female spellcasters are those closest to Geralt in Yennefer of Vengerberg and Triss Merigold, both acting as love interests and major parts of the plot in the video games.
Wait.
For what?
Other sorceresses to keep an eye out for are Philippa Eilhart and Kira Metz.
There are times when a woman should simply not explain her decision. That goes doubly for sorceresses.
Who together with Triss and Yennefer formed the all-female Lodge of Sorceresses that sought to regulate magic in the Northern Kingdoms and influence the region's political dynamics. Eilhart started the lodge after the mostly male Brotherhood of Sorcerers collapsed due to political infighting, and, once in charge, she sought to sway the region's politics by seeking to place a lodge member in a position of power, that of young Ciri, who happened to be a princess of the Northern Kingdom of Sintra.
If they break through, come inside. We'll all converge to help you.
Out of the question. I can look after myself.
No one doubts that, child.
But Eilhart's power play failed, and the lodge dissolved soon after, resulting in its former members being persecuted and even killed by the ruling powers of Redania and Nilfgaard. Like Witchers, sorceresses are trained from a young age, but their transformation into adulthood is more a process of learning how to tame and control their already innate magical abilities than it is one of mutations and dramatic change. Thus, training plays a key role in the development of sorceresses, and that's why there are magic academies to further their skills and abilities.
You know how to sew.
Please. I'll enchant a needle.
Another supernatural group that plays a large role in The Witcher is the Wild Hunt, a group of renegade elves from another world bent on dominating as many kingdoms and peoples as possible. In their homeland, they are known as the Red Riders, and they hunt and capture slaves from other races and groups to serve their own kingdom. But later, they expanded their conquest to other worlds, including the one that The Witcher takes place in, and set their sights on young Ciri, because she harnesses the power of the Elder Blood, which they desperately desire. This ultimately pits them in conflict with Geralt, Yennefer, and the Witchers of Kaer Morhen. The hunt is made up of powerful warriors and mages, like the Goliath Imlerith and the magical Caranthir, and is led by their king, Eredin Break Glass, a fearless warrior, skilled magician, and ruthless conqueror. In terms of the kingdoms within The Witcher, they are divided into those to the north, like Redania, Temeria, Skellige, and Sintra, and the dominant power to the south in Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard is the most powerful empire in The Witcher, and by far the biggest, taking up much of the continent. It built its empire much like all empires are built, through ruthless conquest and exploitation of newly acquired provinces. In a sense, Nilfgaard is the evil empire seeking to increase its rule at whatever cost, and its sights are set on the remaining northern kingdoms. Under the reign of Emperor Emir var Emrys, Nilfgaard basically controls everything south of, and including, Sintra, and has a huge military, endless resources, and a thriving economy.
I thought you bowed before no man.
Didn't want to disappoint the Chamberlain. We're friends.
To the northern people, Nilfgaard is the ultimate villain and threatens to take away what remaining freedom they have left. Redania, on the other hand, is one of the richer northern kingdoms standing in Nilfgaard's way. It has built up its kingdom through trade and the export of grain, and often finds itself in direct competition with the other trade-focused northern kingdom of Samaria. Redania is ruled by its nobility, which makes it a poor place to live for peasants.
You've never been one to mince words. Very well.
Ruled by King Radovid V, who finds himself ingrained in a war on two fronts, one against the encroaching Nilfgaardian forces and another against mages and anyone non-human. While their war against Nilfgaard makes immediate sense, the reason Radovid so despises those of magical ability is because his father, the former king, was assassinated by an elf. Thus, the Redanians are even less tolerant of witchers and sorceresses than the Nilfgaardian Empire.
Checkmate.
Also, within Redania lies the free city of Novigrad, a major port and one of the biggest cities in the north, which is a rare metropolis that owes no allegiance to the land in which it resides. Novigrad is ruled by various underground criminal factions vying to take power in the important city. Like warring mafia clans, each group controls a certain district and owns all the rackets there within. South of Redania lies the kingdoms of Samaria and Sintra. As mentioned, Samaria has a very strong economy like Redania, but they are more of a military force, seeing as much of their land borders along Nilfgaardian territory.
Push for the center aisle and bring down that gate. It's a good day to kill, Your Majesty. Follow me, gentlemen.
They played a key role in defeating Nilfgaard during the first two northern wars, and benefited the most from Nilfgaard's defeat, as it greatly expanded its border south into what used to be Nilfgaardian territory. The kingdom is also ruled by a monarchy under King Foltest, and its capital city of Vizima is an important stop in the region's trade route.
You return, sire. I trust you are not too late. Your kingdom is in need.
You should know kings are never late, Jacques.
On the other hand, Sintra was once a powerful northern kingdom that had bright periods of independent rule, but is now largely under the control of Nilfgaard and Emperor Emir var Emrys, which happened during the First Northern War.
Get used to it. Before long, every soul from Nilfgaard to the Dragon Mountains will kneel before you.
In terms of the Witcher's story, Sintra is the most important for being the birthplace and home of Princess Ciri, and was, at one time, one of the main locations the Lodge of Sorceresses sought to spread its political influence.
Now forgive me. I wish to speak to my daughter.
Finally, there's the Galaga Isles, which is a group of 6 islands off the coast of Sintra. It too is ruled by a monarchy, but its leadership is voted upon by the jarls of the 7 local clans.
Skjal can prepare a horse for you. You'll have to wait a spell, but even so, you'll get there faster than on foot.
Fine, that'll do. Thank you both very much.
These clans divide the islands, and much like the battle between North and South, they too vie for power within their offshore kingdom. Since it is separated from other northern kingdoms by the Great Sea, Skellige, despite periods of volatility with other northern kingdoms, is allied with the North's cause against the invading Nilfgaardian forces.
You're right. I hope to come back here one day. We can finish our conversation then.
Sounds dangerous.
I didn't intend it to.
When it comes to the world of The Witcher, there are a lot of pieces at play in the story at large. That of the battle between northern kingdoms and Nilfgaard, and the central story of Geralt and Company's survival from the Wild Hunt. While it can be intimidating to step into this highly charged realistic world with no prior understanding, it's well worth the time spent exploring Witcher history and lore, because the world is truly incredible. Now that you've watched this video, you're good to go, so it's time for some monster hunting.
They'll know where we've gone. They'll know how to find me.
They already do. Ciri, take us home.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.